if in fact changes depending on where you are in the world, it's not a real definition. And because of that, since there's no definition, it certainly is ripe for transformation of the narrative. And that's what we're talking about today, is transforming the narrative of mental illness on a global scale. And what we can do with the new introduction, there are some new kids on the block that are absolutely contributing to the baseline understanding of what mental health and mental illness are. You might know both of these things. There's at least two of them, and they're major. One of them is the new explosion of psychedelics being used to alter the mind frame of what it means to be a baseline human, and the multidimensionality of all the different things, life and death, eternity, divinity, infinity, all those things that are being delivered into many people's mindsets and worldviews. The other is even bigger than psychedelics, believe it or not, and changing from the framework of what it means to be human. And that is this recent, infusion of AI into our world, certainly altering from the baseline up what it means to be a human, since we are about to be, if we're not already, the second most intelligent sentient being on the planet. And in order to really understand that we have all the information available that's ever been created in humanity one click away from us, it alters the whole sense of what humanity and what a normal human is. And it's about to be dictated by, if we don't watch out, AI, which will gladly become the new default for what it means to be mentally ill and mentally healthy. And we got to be very careful about how the impact that AI has on mental health, and in turn that mental health has on AI. But we can talk about that more if you choose later in this conversation. There you go. That's how I got to be me.
Wow. That's quite a story, Dr. Fred.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that. I want to pick up on a couple of things.
Yeah.
This whole idea of being comfortable with our uncomfortableness.
Yes, exactly.
Let's talk about that a little bit. How do you talk to people about learning how to be uncomfortable in the moment and recognizing that that's perfectly normal?
Yeah. Well, it is perfectly normal. That's the thing.
Of course it is.
And we all know that, including the people who are uncomfortable. It's not very hard to convince people about that. In fact, the other thing is that each and every one of us is fairly committed to thinking that there's something wrong with us.
Well, and I think that goes back to the primitive brain that we have. We really need to feel a part of the group. And if we think we feel different than the rest of the group, then there has to be something wrong with me.
Right.
That's the sort of instinctive. I think, maybe you're the doctor. You tell me.
Well,
but I think that's
the point here is that the classic flaw, of course, is that we're comparing our insides with everybody's outsides, and we're determining. When I look at you, it looks to me like you got your whole life put together. Now you'd be like, "Oh, okay, Fred, sure."
Yeah, no,
sure.
really.
Like, if you, it's like that's a.
Let's have a contest.
But that's what we do, is we think that including like social media, creates a mockery.
It makes it huge. Yeah, hugely.
Because people are showing photographs or stories that are at their very best, and they've been edited and whitewashed and sideswiped and all that whole thing. And so we get to see, we're seeing flawed presentations of what humanity really is, number one, and then we're
not flawed but distorted.
Distorted is a better way to say, exactly. And then we compare ourselves to that. We must be missing out, or we must be less than, or must be defective or deficient or afflicted or something. And then we go to the doctor. The other thing is, Steve, is we really want to lose our responsibility. We're really, really interested in relinquishing the responsibility for the parts of our life that aren't going as well as we wish. So when I yell at my wife, if you can tell me that's because I have a condition and not because I'm a jerk, I'm really interested about that.